Set.
Alexander McKillop is a star on the rise. The 22-year-old sprinter competes in the T36 ambulance class and is currently ranked second in the world in the 200 metres.
It's exciting, and when I run against other people, it makes me feel joy.
When he was a child, Alexander was diagnosed with cerebral palsy and other disabilities that affect his vision and muscle control. He couldn't walk by himself until he was 7 and was later diagnosed as legally blind. Now, he's training to be a Paralympian and has his sights set on Paris.
My dream is to go to the Paralympics later this year.
To be eligible to represent Australia, Alexander needs to run a second qualifying time at the Oceania Athletics Championships in Fiji this week. This shouldn't be a problem with coach Rosemary Coleman by his side.
If I wasn't here with Rosie, I wouldn't get this far.
I have never met an athlete like Alexander. He would have come second at the World Para-Champs last week, but we just need that opportunity for him to gain selection in order for him to, to prosper and show what he can do.
Rosemary has coached Alexander for 8 years, and she goes with him to all of his competitions to support him physically and mentally.
Able-bodied athletes are able to do everything that by themselves, but there's a lot of work involved in taking care of a para-athlete.
But the travel is expensive, and Rosemary is a volunteer. The majority of funding for sports in Australia is reserved for athletes because coaches are often paid for their work.
I don't charge, so it makes it a lot more difficult.
Because she volunteers, Rosemary's had to get creative to help Alexander realise his dream. She set up an online fundraiser, and her local council has donated $200 to help her travel to Fiji. But funding future trips of Alexander remains uncertain.
As far as Paris goes, I have no idea how I'm going to get there.
It will be great if I make Paris.
A finish line that's not yet in sight. Crystal McKay, ABC News.